condos in Toronto specifically. I think that they'll be better off next year for sure.
The condo space, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just the larger units. Just because of the amount of new units that are coming to market, all the buildings that are finishing, like they're all sub the sizes of anything built in the early 2000s. And
All right, we're back with Travis Gairy, and I think where we last left off is this touching on the market, and that you actually like this market.
yeah,
Okay, a lot of people are not liking this market.
Yeah.
But you're liking it.
yeah. So because I started my business in rentals, obviously I'm dealing with renters, and then they grow into buyers. So I haven't had a lot of listings in my, like, I mean, I have the few here and there per year, but that's never been a focus of my business. So, yeah, I'm not hurting as bad as those guys.
Right. So what would you say percentage wise were, I guess, people moving into properties as opposed to listings? So what, like a 80-20?
Yeah.
Okay. So now are you starting to see that you're getting more listings?
It's still been about the same, just because of all the time we invested with renters and buyers. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's predominantly that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of my listings are referrals, to be honest. Yeah.
So what are you seeing in the market right now? So you're seeing it more favorable for tenants.
Yeah.
You're obviously seeing it more favorable for buyers. And you were touching on that as well too, is that what buyers are now giving you a call and like, hey, like, should I be making a move now from this lease that I'm in?
Absolutely. And it's like, it's either like the parent that's calling me and saying, hey, like my daughter's been in this rental unit with her friends for a while. Like, should we get a house or a condo and have, since the prices are good? Yep. Yeah, of course. So I deal with that. And then obviously the working professional who's like, been on the sidelines for a while and has managed to save up some money. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. And it's such a better shopping experience. Like we're taking our time.
Yeah.
They have lots of questions and it's okay. We might take, what used to be a couple weeks. Now it's, a month or so. And
right.
I got no issues with that.
And you're obviously going out more than you would with a tenant.
Yeah.
Because this is now, they feel like this is a larger purchase.
Yeah.
Right? This could be the home that they're going to raise their family in if they don't have any kids yet, right?
That's right.
And so they take a little bit more time. And it should be this way where you can put in conditions for financing. You can put in conditions for home inspection. And if you need a little bit more time, you can extend it. And because you've got the offer in there, the seller's like, okay, what do you need? 2 more days? Go ahead.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. We literally had that situation just a few months ago. My one of my team members was submitting an offer on a property and they extended it 2-3 times.
Yeah.
Like no issues whatsoever.
Yeah. Oh, well, the sellers are just happy to get something.
Yeah. And praying the deal closes.
Yeah. And a lot of times now you're putting these offers in, you're obviously knocking the price down a bit, getting some good deals out there.
Oh, for sure. We're never going in that list. And then if we're purchasing a home, please believe like anything that comes up in that home inspection, like we're not paying for it. Right. So we have more leverage that way as well. And I am finding there's definitely a more like for condominiums, there's definitely a focus on larger units for sure. Nobody's really
looking at the dog crates.
No one's looking at the dog crates. Like, and people want like plus 1,000 square feet now, and like, well,
they want space.
Yeah. And now's the time to get it. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then are you getting any investors? Are you working with any of those in the condo space?
Yeah. So for condos, not so much. Okay. I have a lot of angry investors, maybe stressed investors that are closing on pre-con.
Right.
Because no one could have predicted all of that. But, to the degree that it's at now.
Yeah.
But no, not so many in the condo space. Yeah,
they're not blaming themselves.
Well, the developers are also not being very cooperative either, and they're making things very difficult for at least the stories I'm hearing from my clients. Like simple changes are taking longer than usual on agreements. the occupancy dates are the time periods are much longer than they were. Like typically I feel like we were 3 to 6 months, and now like I'm seeing projects go beyond that. And you could air this or not, but there's also been some issues with commissions from some of these developers, and they're not paying on time. And we're talking like year after these places close. So,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm personally dealing with some of those issues right now, where the project's been closed for.
And I guess this would be like a new project. Some of these condos haven't closed, so the developer hasn't gotten paid, and so now they're trying to figure out where they're going to get the money from.
Yeah, right. And one specific case, like this developer, buildings closed and everything. Everyone's moved in, and it actually did a good job with closings because the price, when my client got in, the price hasn't come down significantly, and she was able to close and not take a loss. And that was last year that building's done. And what happened was, it sounds like the developer just immediately had started another project, I guess somewhere along the lines of that building getting developed. Yep. And so now that money's tied up in another project, right? And they're not paying out the previous one. So that's just my suspicion, but anyways, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah. So building a team.
Yeah.
Because you've got a team now. You've got 7 agents, right? That's including your wife as well, too.
That's right.
Okay. When did you get to 7 agents? And walk us through building a team and some of the mistakes that you've made and the success that you've had along the way. Because it's not an easy thing. Yeah. Building a team, right?
Yeah. So in my friend circle, I was very much known as the realtor in that group. And although there were other realtors in our friend group, for whatever reason, people looked to me. And so some, like, for example,
you're just a natural leader.
I guess so, I try my best, but, and I think people, just do respect my work ethic. And so like 2 of my friends, when they were in the business, they kind of looked to me and saw that, hey, Trav's like, he's doing pretty good. He's making moves. And, I was also extremely fair with them as well, because, when we had our initial conversations and they were interested in joining, like I wanted them to enjoy similar successes to me, and I didn't tax them heavy up front like a lot of team leads do in this business. Essentially, when you're giving a lead to any agent, it's half, right? So early on, anybody on my team, I'd give them a preferred rate, and I wanted them to stay with me. I wanted them to be incentivized. Yeah. And we just did we did monthly meetings. We'd get together, have lunch. I'd take them out. We just, I'd always be keeping them updated with the things that are coming with Listato and the changes that we're trying to make. Yeah. And then make their lives easier. So like all these follow-up boss automations that we discussed, like all of those were implemented over time, and that was all pain points that my guys were experiencing. And I was trying to just remove as much stress from their lives as possible and give them something that they can't get anywhere else.
So give me a walkthrough of what a typical week looks like within your organization, with your team. And, are you doing huddles? How often are you doing that? Meetings, quarterly lunch? Like what do you do?
Yeah, we just do monthly. Sometimes we do add in an extra meeting, like video call.
So monthly for
meeting, like getting together.
Okay, so face to face.
Yeah, face to face. Yeah, and we just discuss, market statistics or whatever, just about client issues that we're having. Yep. And then all in between that, they know that I'm always accessible by phone, so they can call me at any point in time and discuss whatever it is they need to. As of late, we haven't met in person just because of family, and everyone seems to be growing their family at the same time.
Right.
But we hope to start doing that more frequently.
Okay. And so when a lead comes in now, there's probably like a flow to it as well too, where maybe it's round robin.
It is. Yeah.
Okay. And then also too, what's the other one there where it goes into a pond?
Yeah.
You do that as well, where now they can select, or no, it just gets round robin?
It just gets distributed, and like when it gets assigned to someone, there's an immediate email that goes out to the lead from that person, just to get that touch point immediately, and they're notified once they're assigned. More automation.
Someone. Yeah. If you're not using automation, like you're losing business.
When we perfected our automation, I almost felt lazy because I was like, I'm doing so much less.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I felt weird because I'm always used to being busy nonstop. So it's like, holy shit, I have this extra time. Like, what am I going to do next?
Right. And that automation would also then get them to respond.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And they appreciate it. And like, and then also
so fast.
Oh, immediately. Yeah. And then even when the agent gets an email from a person engaged and like ready to, like, they're also more inclined to respond because now it's a hot lead versus them trying to reach out to a cold lead.
Right. For sure. What are some of the mistakes you've made building your team?
Yeah.
And what would you do different?
Yeah. I made the mistake of, like, we had somebody on our team and it didn't work out. And there were red flags early on, and I kind of stepped out of, my traditional way of thinking, because I knew the person was hardworking, and I thought that it would, that the person would be a good fit. But I think the problem that I made, the mistake that I made, was that I didn't. When they wanted to join, I knew that they wanted to be an independent agent, like, long term, and that's kind of what they were working towards. And they weren't as much of a team player as I would have liked them to be. Mm-hmm. It wasn't about, like, they were joining and they were like, I want to win with you guys. I want to see the success of this team so they can empower all of us. It's like in a group effort approach. It was more like, I'm coming here for a few years and then I want to start, like, build up client base, and then I want to leave and start my own thing. And I don't know, it was that I'd say finding people that are just team motivated and just wanting to grow with a group, was, it's like I'm not taking you on if that's not your number one approach.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you determine that? Are there any kind of pre-qualifying questions that you're asking? Are you doing interviews? Are you doing a disc analysis?
Oh yeah. You mentioned that to me a little while ago. I should probably adopt that for sure. I need to learn more about that.
Yeah.
I guess my big thing would just be like, what's your goals for the next 5 years? Where do you see yourself?
Yeah.
Also try to gauge how independent they are. And because independence is important still on a team, because you don't want to be too I want to empower you, but I also don't want to babysit you the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. You almost want them to build a business within your business.
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like you can get that out with over a cup of coffee or a beer, and just chat with somebody and just kind of, some of the way that I would approach these things is pretty intuitional. So I don't really put it on paper. Like, I will ask these 5 questions, and based on that answer, this is hard, yes or no, what I'm going to do. It's kind of like, it's vibes, really.
Yeah.
A lot of times too.
Right. Okay, cool. So moving on then to Listado 2.0.
Yes.
So let's talk about version 1. Yeah. And then what are you looking to maybe add to it? Because, for anybody who wants to know what this is.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah. Okay. So we'll start with Listado number 1. Like I said earlier, it was just a rental website, essentially, where we hosted listings and we generate rental leads. As time gone on, we tried to expand to buyers and sellers, and it did work, and it still does, but it requires a lot of money paid into it, because you're now competing with condos.ca and all these other big companies. Right. So I realized, like, this isn't a long-term viable business because my pockets are only so deep. I can't compete with these guys, right?
Right. So essentially what you're saying is that they've got such a large market share.
Huge, yeah.
That you now would have to put a ton of money into advertising, Facebook leads, Google ads, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure I'm on the same page.
Right. And there are, anyway, so we realized early on, okay, we need to shift here. And that's when we focused a lot of our intention and our efforts into retaining what we have, and just cultivating that and being as efficient as possible with that and building all those automation tools, but still maintaining an online presence, just not as large. So Listado 2.0 is essentially I'm going to be giving people my business, essentially. I'm going to be giving them all the back end stuff that we do, and packaging it in a way that's easy for realtors to get access to it.
Why so kind?
Yeah. I think a lot of realtors they like, when you're a realtor, you have to be a business owner. You have to know everything about business. You have to be client facing. You have to be doing extra things like social. And it's like our job has evolved to just so many things.
Yeah.
And, not many people know how to use or build pipelines and do all these things and have the time to do all that. So it's like, let's just make it easily accessible to them. And still have that online presence. They can decide if they want to market it and either the way of condo.ca, or you can just market it on your socials, and but still have a platform that you can send people to generate leads, and then be able to organize them on the back end.
So how does this work then? So then a realtor now gets plugged into your system. Is that what you're going to do essentially?
Yeah, we're going to pre-build, we're going to have the whole system built out, and essentially they can come to us, they sign up, and they'll have their own website that has lead gen capability, customization. And then they'll also have all the pipelines already set up. They'll have all the email automations, all those things already pre-built and ready to go.
And so the back end piece would be Follow Up Boss, or is that completely different?
So that's,
Okay, working on that. Okay, that's very cool. Yeah, because you know what, you're right, because so many realtors, they get into the game and they've got to do so many different things.
Yeah.
But one of the most important things is you got to just work on your genius, but knowing that there's other pieces out there to then say, okay, look, I'm not good at the automation piece. Who can help me with that?
Yeah.
Okay, look, good. I'm not good at this piece. Who can help me with that?
Yeah.
Or you needed like an operations manager, but all that takes time. Or you need an admin potential. But obviously, in the beginning, you're wearing every single hat.
Every single thing.
You're tech. You're the realtor. You're the admin. You're operations manager. You're the deal secretary. You're like, you name it. You're everything.
Absolutely. And there are some competitors that are doing something similar. It's just, these guys are like, you have to, they have they're more of a marketing company.
Yeah.
And it's not a click of a button. Like, I shouldn't have to set up a discovery call with you.
Right.
Like, I should be able to come on and click a few buttons, have my website up, and have all the tutorials I need and my whole system ready to go out of the package.
Right.
Like, that's the way it should be.
Yeah. Okay. Where do you see the future of real estate going?
Oh, it's hard to say. This has been such a shocking couple years, and I still feel pretty young in the game to give you like a clear-cut answer. Honestly, like, who would have thought we'd be facing tariffs and all these this American influence just making such a huge change?
Well, let me rephrase a question.
Yeah.
What are you focusing on?
Yeah.
Like, because I'm sure you must sit down with your team or with your partner and you're saying, well, based on where we are in today's market, we need to put our energy into this, or we need to focus on this so that we stay ahead of the game.
Yeah. Personally, we chose software. I mean, it's everywhere now, and it's only going to continue to become the baseline.
Yeah.
I still do not believe in door knocking or I know some people have success with that, but I think you can have way more success applying your time to using technology to advance your business. Mm-hmm. I just see a lot more automation. I don't think AI is going to have a huge impact in terms of, like, we're still going to have to be client facing. People are still going to want to see a person and trust a person versus a machine. I think there's going to be a lot of cool products that come out from AI in terms of home evaluations and being able to price things, and we can use it as a tool. But I still feel like you're going to need a human being in there evaluating value. But
I agree.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think there is going to be a lot more tools that are going to be coming out, but you're going to be using it alongside your skill set.
Yeah.
I think that's number one. I think number two, with all that new technology coming out, that also means that your client has access to some of that technology as well too. And so now they're also better educated.
Yeah.
And so you've also got to be educated as a realtor as well too, to know that, you're going into a listing appointment or whatever it may be, or sitting down with a buyer. You've got to be educated. You've got to be also being able to provide that extra level of service of saying, oh, wow, okay, I didn't know that. And I think that's what they're going to be looking to when they're deciding to choose an agent to work with. Right?
Absolutely. I think House Sigma was a good thing, to be honest. That's a product that a lot of people use for sales information and such. And it's an education tool, and it's a way for them to get onto your wavelength faster.
100%. Because then now they're also in tune with, when I go to a listing appointment, like, I know my home is worth 1.4. Right. It's probably now down to 950. So talking them off that cliff isn't as difficult. Maybe they're off by like 20 or 40,000, but okay, that's fine. That can still be negotiated in the price. But when you're off by like 150 or 200,000, like, okay, now bringing you down to where the market really is, that takes more time.
Big time.
Yeah. And then they list with an agent who comes in who says, oh yeah, I can get you that. And all of a sudden now you're chasing the market. They're not giving them the right education, right? Absolutely. Which then creates frustration for the client. Because they're like, oh, these agents don't know what they're doing. Yeah. So it's important to be educated. For sure. And you got to use it as a tool. Yeah. Yeah. So more software development, getting involved with AI, and anything else. Anything else where you see the market going, or thoughts on, say, even 2026? Like, what are your thoughts on the market for next year?
Yeah. I think it's going to take us some time to get out of this hole that we're in. Mm-hmm. Although I think I saw a stat just a couple of days ago that we've our inventory actually stayed the same for the first time in however long. But I mean,
when you say inventory, you're talking about the amount of listings coming on the market and the amount that we're taking off the market.
Exactly.
Because the last several months there's been more listings coming on with less coming off, right? Yeah, exactly.
So,
and it's a lot, and you've got to show your clients those datas, or in the stats. Because when I sit down and say, look, here's why it's not moving. Look how many listings there are, and how many are coming off the shelf.
Yeah. No, exactly. Like I do think we'll see some life in the condo market in this summer for sure. I think the prices are gotten to a point where it's just, people are going to get in eventually, and especially with everyone coming back to work. I'm definitely seeing a lot of that on the rental side too. It's like, my office told me I had to come back in, so I'm back downtown. Right. So I think we're going to see
cottage country.
Yeah, exactly. Thought they were going to work remote indefinitely. Yeah. That
took such a huge beat in cottage country.
Yeah.
I mean, like, people were buying those cottages way over what they're valued today. They were 1.5, 1.6. Now they're down to like 1.1 or $1 million.
Yeah.
It's wild. And then now being called back in, I think people thought that they would never have to go back in, or maybe 1 or 2 days a week. But now they're saying, hey, look, we need you back in 5 days a week. Yeah. And I think part of that as well too is that, hey, look, if you decide not to come back in, well, hey, you've quit, so I don't have to pay you out.
Yeah.
Right. I don't give you severance.
Yeah. Such a good point.
Yeah. And so I think a lot of that, and especially when you're moving into a recession, what better way to do that?
Yeah.
Right. So it's definitely going to be interesting. I think 2026 is going to be a very interesting, and I'd almost say even challenging year for sellers. I think it might even be worse than this year.
Interesting.
Yeah, right. Because I decided to kind of jump back into the game to see what my team is doing. I don't do a whole lot of transactions anymore. And I can tell you this, which is very interesting, is that, and I was looking at homes that were kind of like in around the $1 million range. Mm-hmm. And if I looked at, say, 4 or 5 properties, 1, maybe 2 agents would call me up, sometimes more, and say, hey, look, like, I need an offer because they're going into power sale soon.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. And next year, I think, is one of the years where you're going to see more mortgages coming up for renewal.
Right.
And so if that's happening, where now if you're locked in at a 1.5 or a 2% interest rate, and now it's going to 4%, I think you might get even a larger wave of listings coming onto the market. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, but I do listen to, I think, some pretty sharp people who love analyzing and looking at data. I don't. I'll let them do the work, and I'll look at it. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that chart makes sense.
Right.
And I think also, finally, to add to that piece as well too, is that if you take a look at the late 80s, early 90s, that was almost about 7-8 years before they really got out of that mess. And I think people forget this too, is that we've been in this now for like almost 4 years. Like, think about when it started, like was March 2022.
Yeah.
March 2026 is just next year, a couple months away.
Right.
That's 4 years. And so I still think you've got a few more years. I think you'll see some ups and downs, but I still think there's a little bit more to go on, a little bit more of a downward pressure.
Right.
But still great opportunity. And I tell this to a lot of my investors, is that we're not bottom part of the bowl now. And it's about buying right and also creating cash flow.
Yeah. I do feel like the spacious condos in Toronto specifically, I think that they'll be better off next year for sure.
The condo space? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the larger units. Just because of the amount of new units that are coming to market, all the buildings that are finishing, like they're all sub the sizes of anything built in the early 2000s and like 2010s.
Right, because nobody wants those dog crate ones. Like,
no,
and like, they were built for investors.
Yeah, and there's tons of them, and even the 2-bedroom units that are like 600 square feet, they're going to be punished for a long time. For sure.
Yeah.
Those
bedrooms are not even bedrooms.
No.
I don't even know how they even call them a bedroom. Like,
no.
This is ridiculous.
No, you stick a bed in and you can't have a bedside table. You're just jumping into your bed when you come in, basically.
It's wild.
Yeah.
So, so you see that market getting punished more. But as long as you've got good space, 800-900 square feet or bigger.
Yes, and solid location as well. Right. I feel like they're gonna have a much better time next year than the other guys. Yeah. And you'd be surprised, like Bay Corridor is still like pretty strong. Like obviously they've come down in price as well, but out of the whole landscape of Toronto, like those older buildings right by the university, they're still cooking. Like they're getting good rent.
So I think what you're saying as well too, and I think it's a good point, is that there's segments of the market.
Yes.
Yeah, as long as you're in the right segment, you're either going to see some movement going up. Right. But if you bought something that's terrible, you're going to continue to still feel pain.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I agree with that as well too, because I mean, even with us and working with real estate investors, I mean, I know that now they've changed the bylaw in Toronto, where I think you can go up to like 7 units in a single family home.
That's awesome.
Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should.
Right.
Because then now you start to potentially start building dog crate condos in a house.
Yeah.
So people want space, and so you got to be making sure that whatever it is that you're building from an investor standpoint, that is what that neighborhood is looking for.
100%. Yeah. I mean, that's where we went wrong, right? Like it's the livability versus profitability, and we just went too far down the scale on the profitability side in Toronto. It's same rule applies. Like think about your audience, who you're leasing to, and making sure it's still attractive to live in. Yeah.
Well, listen, we're getting pretty close to the end. I always like to ask these two questions.
For sure.
Best day. What's the best day and the worst day?
Best day and the worst day?
Yeah, I'll let you pick whichever one you want to start. Just in terms of life, best day and worst day.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with best day.
Yeah.
So what's the best day I've experienced in real estate? Or
anything, just life.
In life? Well, the birth of my son.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Yeah. How old is he now?
He's going to be 2 in February.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
His personality's really coming through. So
that's amazing.
It's a great time.
Yeah. And then the worst day. What's the worst day, and how do you overcome it?
Jeez, worst day. I'm such a half full type of person. Yeah. Because my worst days don't last that long.
That's good. Yeah, but you use it for something positive. But what was it? When you're in that moment.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. I honestly I can't think of a day that was so bad that. Put me on the spot here.
That's all good.
Okay, I can't think of one now.
That's all good. But listen, we're getting, like I said, close to the end here. But if people want to learn more about you and understand what's happening with Listato 2.0. Listato. They're saying Listato 2.0. How can they do that?
It is Italian, and it sounds like you.
Listato.
Yeah. So we're definitely working on this new program that I mentioned in this podcast, and it should be. We should have some prototypes done soon.
Okay.
And the goal is to just test those prototypes and hopefully bring it to market in 2026.
Perfect. How do they get a hold of you if you want to
learn
more?
So just get me on Instagram. Travis Gairy is my handle, Gairy. And feel free to shoot me an email as well. Just travis@lestado.com if you want to chat. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, listen, Travis, appreciate your time.
Yeah.
And we'll do this again.
Sounds good, dear.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Take care.
Cheers.